Hey guys, Token Dave over here, the dorky token black guy that's just trying to get by, and welcome to another ADD/ADHD rant. So, for those that are new to this, and for those that saw my last one but couldn't fully hear because I was at the bus station on my way to work, basically, my ADD/ADHD rants are just me, giving my opinions on, various topics on a fixed time frame about rumors of things that I've heard of that kind of piqued my interest, mainly relating to things for movies, basically, or comic book related stuff and TV shows. Alright? So, for the past few days, I've had the vampire killer theme in my head, and that's mainly because basically, the Castlevania TV series on Netflix was out, and I gave my thoughts on that. So if you want to know that, just go further to my channel and everything, or just look at the description box that has my thoughts on my first attack of Castlevania and my review. But I've had that theme in my head for past few days, and I have to thank Andy Shankar for that, which is a name we should all be familiar with, because this is the guy that actually, gave us that awesome animated series on Netflix. And I did not realize this, but Andy Shankar has given us a few awesome things. He was the producer of the 2012 Dread movie. He was the main person that basically produced that Punisher one-shot, Dirty Laundry online, and that, Power Rangers pitch online, that dark one that actually had basically, James Vanderbeek, aka Dawson from Dawson's Creek. So, this is the guy that anytime I see his name, I'm looking for his name, and I'm most likely going to watch it, because this guy seems to know what the hell he's doing. And he actually stated, well, I don't know if he stated it, but I saw something posted saying that basically he would also like to do a dark version for animation of the Metroid TV series, which, hey, I'm cool with. I've always felt Castlevania needs a different, media transition from video games to either a movie or TV series and everything. Metroid is overdue as well too, and if he does it, I am definitely going to watch. And I can't wait for season 2 of Castlevania, which I heard got picked up. Thank you, Lord, and everything, because this season that just passed was way too quick and everything. So that's the high quality that we have right there. Speaking of video games and everything, if he wants to do Metroid, he has to try to jump on it quick, because last year there was a rumor of Nintendo doing a cinematic universe, an animated cinematic universe, which that is supposed to work, but we from what I heard from a YouTuber and everything, basically it's the Blockbuster Buster who basically informed his fans that basically Nintendo wanted to do this, and they're teaming with Nickelodeon to do it. And I'm like, why team with Nickelodeon and everything? And so it doesn't sound very promising, But what is promising is basically what got displayed over the weekend. Tekken 7 has been out for a little bit, and it's kicking ass, taking names, and Tekken 7 actually had Goki in the West known as Akuma as a playable character and everything, which, while Tekken Street Fighter X Tekken or Street Fighter X Tekken was cool, I didn't really play it as much, but I seen people play it. It looked cool and everything, but nice seeing one Street Fighter character is now canon in Tekken. But now Tekken has a new DLC character, and it is actually one of my favorite fighting game antagonists from my favorite fighting game series. It's Geese Howard. Geese Howard, the main antagonist for the original Gato Densetsu in the Western America known as Fatal Fury. He's going to be in freaking Tekken 7, and that's amazeballs, actually. Freaking Tekken's getting Street Fighter characters and Gato Densetsu characters and everything. Shoot, man, maybe Tekken's going to be the main fighting game universe in games that will allow different companies to cross over and everything. That would be awesome. Hey, we had that awesome fan film with basically Kazuya taking on Ryu and Ken. Hell, it'll definitely work. Oh man. But talking about fights and everything, well, not fights, but things that happened over the weekend. The D3 convention occurred on the weekend, and something interesting actually happened in D3. So Zack Snyder apparently over the weekend took his name off everything for Justice League, which really is suspect. For those that don't know what's going on, Zack Snyder, who was the person that was in charge of directing the DC Extended Universe. He directed Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and he was directing Justice League. He had to bow out because, that took a lot of time, and he had a tragedy. His daughter actually committed suicide, so he's bowed out, and he's taking time to, spend it more with his family, which is kind of messed up. I mean, messed up situation with that, on his end. So guy needed some time off, understandable. But they actually ended up getting Josh Whedon, who helped helm, at the MCU Phase 1 and Phase 2 with the Avengers movies and everything. He's taking over for Justice League, and, there were a lot of reshoots that happened. I'm beginning to learn more of the lingo of, movie making and everything, and I'm paying attention to the finances more, and they've done about 3 months of reshooting, and that sounds like they're going to scrap the original idea that Zack Snyder had. Now, I have an interesting opinion of Zack Snyder. A lot of his earlier work, 300, the Dawn of the Dead remake, and Watchmen, I thought were awesome and everything. His later stuff, some of the DC stuff, and he did something else that, I was aware of that I wasn't really a big fan of. I forgot the name of it off the top of my head. But Justice League was his baby, and Josh Whedon coming in and fully taking over it and everything, making it not look like his vision. That's Josh, I love you and everything, but that's wrong. That's wrong. That the guy died out for personal reasons, understandable reasons. He should still have his name on that, So we don't know with him taking his name off the Justice League. We don't know if that was because of all the reshoots and everything that Josh Whedon did, or we don't know if that's basically Zack Snyder doing additional coping and everything, or if that's Warner Brothers' idea, because we don't know. So only time will tell, hopefully, with that. Speaking about time, it's been 2 weeks since Spider-Man Homecoming has been out, and it's 2 weeks because this past weekend was the second weekend that it was out, and it had a huge drop of the money that it made. See, opening box office, weekend, they made over $100 million and everything, right? So they were able to basically make a profit, but this weekend they had a 62% drop, and from what I'm hearing from people that are in the business, that's a big deal. That shows that's a bad sign and everything. And people are wondering if it's due to War of the Planet of the Apes coming out and more people interested in that. I've watched the movie. The movie is good and everything. As an MCU, it's meh, but as a movie on its own, it's still good. I just think the huge drop is just because of the fact that how many times has Spider-Man been remade in the past 15 years? I do think it's kind of Spider-Man fatigue, in my own opinion and everything, But what's another opinion that I have related to the MCU is, this whole bit of a controversy with Mark Ruffalo and Don Cheadle. See, yesterday, basically, they were talking about, Avengers Infinity War, the new movie that's coming out. And basically, it looks as if, Mark Ruffalo kind of ruined things, saying that, spouting out that all the Avengers die and everything, and that's a major spoiler to a degree. I want to tell you guys this. Infinity War is taking from Infinity Gauntlet. In Infinity Gauntlet, everybody did die, with the exception of Adam Warlock and Silver Surfer. They didn't die, they lived and everything. And what ended up happening was Nebula stole the gauntlet from Thanos and basically, stated that everything that was done in the past 24 hours be reverted back, be erased and everything. So, yes, in Infinity Gauntlet, almost everybody does die and everything, but then they get brought back, because they did everything Thanos did for a day. So, I don't think that's much of a spoiler, number one. Number two, keep in mind, Marvel Studios is owned by Disney, and this happened during Good Morning America. If people wanted if they wanted that would have been squashed and, not leaked and everything. Or DEFCON 5 and, gathering things up and everything. But I think that was all staged. I was watching Grace Ralph a little bit earlier, and I kind of agree with her. It looks a little staged and everything, Well, do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Drop me a comment below. Let me know. Also, give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you know when a new video loads. But until then, this has been Token Dave, the dorky token black guy is just trying to get by, and I'll catch you guys later.